All right. We are live. Okay. Let
Well,
me
hello there.
bring up, hey guys. Um, hey, once again, we're doing something different. Every time we speak, we're doing something different. So we have been having a lot of questions about the senior quick takes, and we wanted to do a Facebook Live to talk about it.
Yep.
If anybody's got any questions, to ask them now or ask them later, but we can go over everything about it, right?
Yeah. Well,
Because this came about so quickly, right? We threw it together because everything with the pandemic goes quickly. So,
right. But the truth is, we had some high school seniors in the studio, and they were talking about how disappointing it was that they probably weren't going to walk the stage. And this was back in March before we even were doing the stay at home and social education, social learning. So it got us to thinking as time went on.
so, basically, what I want to do today is because I don't really know who's watching. What I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about who we are as a studio and what we're about. A lot of you already know what we're about. A lot of you may not. So Shannon's going to kind of keep an eye on comments over there or questions. So if you can text questions into this while we're doing this. So a little bit high level. We're at home. We have never done this from home. I guess what's funny is if you look on the
Yeah.
walls of our home, it's black and white portraits and paintings. So it's sort of exactly like what you would find at the studio. But
They're
we
all so surprised.
they're shocked, I'm sure, especially the ones who know us. But so our primary mission is legacy photography. Legacy photography has a bunch of meanings. The most important is that moments are preserved in an artistic fashion for generations. The artistic fashion is what we put on the wall. We love doing it. It is a gorgeous display in your home to have a piece of art, and it is also very enduring. The work we do on a normal basis, our studio fine art photography, is multi-generational, which means most of it should, especially the black and white and the paintings,
Right.
last like 100 years. So I want to put that in context as to who we are. We're not come out and click the shutter a few times and give you some digitals.
Yep.
We're about this stuff, okay? So
Yeah. Our goal is that you don't have to do any of the work. You come to us, we do everything for you. All you have to do when you get your portraits is go home and hang them on the wall and send us a picture of how they look in your home.
and now I'm being recruited to do that. But anyway,
Yes. I'm working on that.
that's okay. We're working on that. So, but that's the core of who we are. The range of work is quite wide, from small portraits to large, very large portraits. Again, we're talking about our normal work, and I want to talk about this a little bit before we go into the quick takes, so you understand how different this is from what we
Right.
normally do, and why we've chosen to do that. We have not become a low-end bottom basement studio, right? We are still a fine art studio, and the idea here is that this is a very special event, right? Because it's what's happening in the world right now. That things are not normal. That everyone is affected in some kind of way right now. That you're either staying home from work, your work life has changed, you're economically impacted, your children are out of school, and as my daughter can attest to, that she's going crazy because her kids are home.
But let's say they're young.
They're very
not
young,
high
yes.
school age, or
Yes.
they're young, so they require a lot of attention.
Right. So, no, I don't know of anyone who's not affected by what's going on right now. Why we chose high school seniors is because we have heard from many of our existing seniors who we had before this all started about how their life is being affected. And the high school moment, again, back to legacy photography, is one of the most important milestones in life to have a great image of. And one of the things that I've been saying since this all started is don't let the negative be the memory. We're going to have reams of words written about all this virus and the pandemic and everything. But that 20 years from now, if you don't have a high school portrait, or you don't have a senior or a cap and gown or a prom dress, those are going to be holes in your memory that are going to make, it's going to be like rubbing salt in that pandemic memory. Not only did the pandemic happen, but it took this away from me. And so we decided that it's an important thing for us to do because of our mission in legacy photography is to make sure as many high school seniors as possible get a portrait from this time. Now,
so I just have to give a shout out to Leah, who's on here, and Leah, Parker's and Megan's portraits are going to be ready soon.
Okay, they're very close. We're just waiting on the cards, right?
Yep, we're waiting on Parker's cards, so next week.
The portraits are actually framed, and I'm not going to show them yet. I'm going to wait for the reveal.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt, but I just see Leah's there. And
So, okay, so all right, so that's a wonderful point, right? So we're doing the quick takes because we don't know who hasn't had a portrait and what their position is, what their status is. Over the last couple of weeks, we have heard so many heart-wrenching stories about these kids. We've both been on the phone with people telling their stories of what is going on in their lives right now, and it almost brings us to tears often.
yeah,
Because there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of hardship, and they've been laid off from work, or they have someone who's working medical who's
not
never
only
home.
that, yeah, there's all different situations, but what everybody's talking to me about, and Leah would know this too, is that the kids aren't going to walk the stage, or
Yes,
if they are,
right.
it's going to be. I've heard different versions, virtual, which nobody seems to know what that means or how it could happen.
Right.
Or it's going to be in August when most of them are preparing or already at college or going into the military, different things. So, let's not miss out on this moment. And so that's why we're doing this.
And there's another thing happening here too. We're going to come out of this, and I don't know how soon, it depends on who you listen to, but we're going to come out of this. But the problem is with the seniors who are graduating, they're going to be moving on to college or wherever they're heading, and
Right.
there's not going to be time to do portraits and all this stuff at the end of the summer. They're going to be gone. They're going to
They're moving on.
They're moving on. They're excited. They're going to a college. They're going somewhere. So
And they need something to look forward to. So,
yes.
You know, that's a positive.
Something positive.
But in
Absolutely.
the meantime, let's finish off this school year doing what we can to also bring a positive to it. So that's why we're doing this again.
So the senior quick takes are shorter sessions, 20 to 30 minutes. They're in one location, not multiple locations. If you've
Right.
seen some of our full senior sessions, they can be on location at the Pearl or at here or at the studio, and multiple
Right.
locations, multiple clothing changes. We unfortunately can't do that for this many people because this is totally complimentary. The session fee is completely complimentary. Because coming out of this time, I go back to the legacy mission. We've got to make ourselves available for people to create these images. So some people may want to do the fine art portraits from these quick take sessions. They can. They totally can. But we have created a special package of portraits, which is
Right.
At a lower price point for people who are disadvantaged right now, who are suffering from whatever, job loss or for whatever reason, or they just didn't want a large fine art portrait.
Right.
That's fine. We're still going to put our quality of photography into it. That's the one thing that will never change. We are going to do our top quality photography. You just have a different, whoops, let me knock down the furniture. You have a different product offering option on the back that we would not normally offer. What we're doing with these are what we would call sort of event portraits.
Yeah.
Where we do them for special events. We don't do them for our normal
Fine
portrait
art.
line.
It's
The
not part
fine
of
art.
our fine art line.
So without showing product, the fine art, most of you, again, if any of you know us or have worked with us, the fine art work is all handmade. I hand make a good 80 to 90% of it. Some we have to send off because of size, but
Right.
the black and white is all handmade. The color portraits are handmade, and what's coming out soon is the painted portraits. Again, I paint them.
Hayward does those.
This is our heart. This is who we are, because we know that when those things go on the wall, they will last for 100 years,
Yep.
and they will be passed down to your grandchildren. However, not getting an image is a crime, and I'm not willing to say, "Oh, I'm just going to sit by because everybody can't pay my price right." No. We are going to make sure that these images are created at a price point that just about everyone can afford right now. So the way the process works, right? Let's talk about the process. Or is there any questions coming in?
No.
Okay. The process is to request the session. We don't have a page on our website dedicated to this right now because it's completely ad hoc.
Yeah.
We for a lot of reasons. One is we have to schedule them based on what is allowed in society. So you have to call us or send us an email, right?
Yeah,
You were gonna say
right. Well, yeah, either go on our website and look for the page that
It's our contact page. If you look in the, I think the link to this video, what we're just doing is using the contact page of our website and just mention Senior Quick Take when you send us the email. Say you would like a Senior Quick Take session. And then we have to get back with you and contact you.
So include your phone number, and
Yes, please.
one of us will call you back, either
Yes.
Hayward, myself, or Ashley.
Right. These are all scheduled individually. And because of the way life is right now, they're scheduled, but they're not set in stone. Things will happen. Things will change.
Yep.
We have a lot of people who are hoping, praying to get cap and gowns.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something that we adapt to. We normally are a lot more rigid, and our schedule just doesn't allow us to do this. So our disadvantage, we're trying to turn into an advantage for you, that we have the ability to be flexible right now.
Yeah.
With scheduling these. So once you contact us, we're gonna want to have a phone call for a consultation.
Yeah, it's brief. Except sometimes I get busy talking, and we talk for a little while. It's been known to happen, but it's really about what to expect, what to plan for, and for us to know what your thoughts are and what you would like out of it.
Right. And because as a photographer, if I try and come in cold to a session, I can do a great image, but it may or may not tell your story. I may or may not understand what a true smile is for you. I may or may not understand what you care most about for this image. It's important for us to know a little bit about who you are as much as we can, what you're after, and sort of get in sync to create a really good story. It's once again, a picture that just captures how you look is not challenging. It's a lot of people can do that.
Yeah.
It's when you have an image that captures personality and story, and mom goes, "Oh my God, that's Parker's expression," you know.
Yes.
And so when Leah said that a couple of times in the session, it made my day, because that means that I'm listening, and I try and listen as much as I talk. But
Yeah, and he does talk a lot.
I
he
do
knows.
talk a lot. So okay, after the consultation, we'll have a time scheduled for the session, which is the photography
Right.
part of it. Once the photography is done, we will schedule a time for selection and what you want to have for purchase. Now, if you are only going to if you're only going to choose from the
Quick takes.
the quick take products, we can do it online virtually,
Yes.
like a Zoom call. So you can tell us which ones you like. We can show you things. You can place your order. If you are interested in fine art wall portrait, We are going to want to try and get you back to the studio only so we can go over the actual physical products that are involved.
Right.
Our products are unique to our studio. You will not find them in other photography studios. You might find similar ones that are close, but because I handprint and do them all myself, I do what I feel like doing. If I like that brand of canvas, I'm going to go with that. Or if I like that brand of paper from Europe, I'm going with that. Doesn't matter if it's available in labs or whatever. That's the difference.
Right.
So that's the two options. And the choice of what you want doesn't have to happen until the time of the selection appointment.
Right. Yeah. The only thing we need to know is if you're going to order the quick takes or if you're going to want to do
Right.
so we can schedule that accordingly for coming when you come back. But other than that, that's pretty much how it's going to work. That is how it's going to work.
Right.
And how it has been working. We have had a great response to our quick takes. People are still calling, even today. We put this out on Facebook and social media a couple weeks ago. Then it got picked up by ksat.com, and so there was a news story last week, and so we had a lot more kids call or parents call, and it's been put out a couple of places since then and shared by a lot of people. So I'm glad that we're able to reach so many families and I'm talking to the kids, I'm talking to the parents, mostly the moms. And it's just great. It's really good to be able to help them. And
one of the reasons we wanted to do this live was because when people see that the session is complimentary, the first thing they say, well, what's the catch? Well, there's not a catch.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, there's product to be purchased, but we are offering a very inexpensive product line. We're not trying to fool you into spending a huge amount of money. That's not the goal here. The goal is to get a great image with great photography in some fashion that each individual family wants or can afford. That's the catch. I mean, we've heard that a few times. What's the catch? There really isn't one.
Well, I haven't heard that, but
I heard a couple of times. On the phone, I've heard a couple of times.
But the bottom line is we just want to do something to help, and the best way we know to help is with our photography. So
right, and
actually with Hayward's photography.
I mean, that's all we really had to say today.
Yeah. And I wanted to do this from our home because we've been doing all of our Zooms from the studio. And I said to Hayward, we need to show that we actually do have a home and people can see that we live in a home.
We're not homeless yet, no.
And we work here most of the time. We actually spend most of our time here.
Yes, especially these days.
Yep.
But there's a lot more coming. We may, depending on how, we depend on people to tell us what they're interested in. Like, we know the seniors are having a situation right now.
Yeah.
If people are telling us, well, I've missed X, Y, and Z because of this, we always take that into consideration as well. I mean, Mother's Day is coming up. We are looking hard at Mother's Day to see what can we do for this, because last year Mother's Day family portraits were huge. Yeah. I mean, we did like 25 of them in one day or something like that.
On Mother's Day, because we partnered with the restaurant by our studio, Meadow.
So we know people love them, so we are looking at that. So if you're watching this and you think, hey, I'd like to do that, let us know. We are trying to make things happen. We don't want the negative to be the memory of this time. That would make it 10 times worse to me.
Yeah, that's the message. That's the one we keep sending out there. We don't want the negative to be what's remembered in this time. There's so many things that we can think of that are positive, and try to focus on that as much as we can.
Absolutely.
And we all, I mean, we're part of that too. We all have our moments, but let's try and do something fun and
lasting.
Keep the communication open. Reach out, even if you just want to say hi, or I saw you and I wanted to hear more about it, or
especially if you have questions. Please, it's just us, right? You're not talking to some conglomerate. It's us.
Yeah.
You're going to talk to one of us right now, or maybe Ashley. depending
Yes.
on.
And he says that because
Hey, Ashley.
Ashley's on here.
So
So that's really that's our
pretty
message.
much that's pretty much what we had. If
Yep.
you can call us at the studio 210-265-1101, or you can. I think there's a link. If there's not,
There's a link on our Facebook.
I'm gonna
right here.
We'll post. Okay, so it's in this video. So
Yeah.
that's it, guys. We're booking through May right now because we
Looking-
hear
yeah.
that may be possible. Each appointment's individual and movable. So
Yeah.
just call us and let us know.
So with that, I want to say, same thing we've always said: stay safe, be healthy, hug your family, and one day we'll all get to hug each other again too.
All right, guys. Be safe out there. Stay well. Bye.